day, everybody. My name is Todd, standing. I'm out here on the last expedition of September 2023 with three other expeditioners, some who will remain anonymous. We're out at my gifting area. You can see behind me, let's see if I can see that. See that little red spot? That's an apple. We've got 10 apples out here. We're all very excited to be putting 10 apples out here. This is our last full day and night on expedition here, because over the last couple days it seems that 4 apples were taken. We're all pretty much in agreement it's very likely that Sasquatch took them. What is not up for contention is there is 2 sticks about 100 yards from where I'm sitting right now that were put on the road on the Porcupine Trail that had to have been done by Sasquatch. There's no bear, there's no people out there. I'm not having a discussion with the expeditioners about it. If they don't think that's the case, then that's on them. It's entirely 100% Sasquatch. It's literally 5 yards or about 10 yards from where the Sasquatch about 2 weeks ago put a smaller X. So we're going to go investigate that next. But we're all very excited about what's happening here. We're seeing that we've put out rocks. One expeditioner in particular has put out some really beautiful quartz crystals that I'm told are authentic quartz crystals. So, and this lady's highly spiritual, very connected, has a lot of amazing things that's happened in her life pertaining to animals being attracted into her presence. So we're very excited to have her here, and everybody's just having a really good time. We're hearing tree knocks quite regularly off in the distance over here. Yesterday we were led out into the wilderness. I don't think so. I'm gonna ask, just by show of hands, who I can see. I can see the 3 expeditioners. Who believes that Sasquatch led us into the wilderness last night with those, yesterday with those knocks into the Kootenai forest? Hands up. So that's everybody. Everybody's totally. I never asked that until this particular moment. It was very profound. We were literally, we have
there's one right now.
Right, as we're speaking, there was another one. Well, we could, Richard, you don't mind talking. How far do you predict, Richard, that Sasquatch was from us at the closest when we heard that last knock?
100 yards.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Whoa, there's a gray jay just came flying in. Beautiful. Yeah, I would agree with that conservatively. And what we did is we went to that approximate spot of that last rock knock, and then nothing proceeded after that for whatever reason. But it's pretty exciting because there's really there was no wind, there was no other explanation for a very, very profound, crystal clear knock that we heard. And we were led there by 2 previous other knocks. We literally went into the wilderness, stopped, waited for a knock, went into the wilderness, stopped, waited for a knock. And that happened 3 different times. So it was very, very profound. Everybody was really impressed with it, as was I. It was a wonderful experience. There is no explanation for that having transpired other than there's a Sasquatch out here. So, and we're all in agreement. And these are very intelligent people that came out here, even not so much embracing this legend of the discovering Bigfoot cooperation, but more so just came out skeptically. Have analyzed things in a very intellectual way that I'm really happy with, and these intelligent intellectual people are coming to the conclusion that there was a Sasquatch around. A Sasquatch took these apples, and again, I didn't ask about the V shape that we're going to go look at next. So, but there'll be another part to this. So, because I am going to do what happens tomorrow. So whether the Sasquatch come tonight or tomorrow, and take these apples, I'm going to post those results in this video next. But next thing I want to go look at today, so we're doing lots of drone operations. I've been ill this expedition for the first time ever. I've been down for a section of my expedition. The reason I'm saying that is while I was down, they were able to thermally get footage of a wolf, potentially 2 wolves that were over a kill. So that was really cool. There's been some nice bull elk footage that we were able to retrieve on this expedition. Tons and tons of deer. We're almost sick of seeing them so much, but yeah, we've been having a really good time, really good results with the rock knocks that we're hearing on a regular basis. So we'll see how this turns out. Now what we're going to do, everybody here, I'm going to explain to them in detail that it seems that when we walk around and we feel like we put out that feeling that we're leaving, the Sasquatch seem to recognize that, and a sense of urgency is precipitated in them interacting with us more, because these people are leaving. I'll be back, but they won't be. If they do come back, it won't be till next year. So there should be a heightened sense of urgency if you want to interact with these people, if these are good people that you're interested in teaching. And I consider these people students of the Sasquatch. I'm the conduit in between that's brought them together. But if these students are ready for new lessons, it has to be now because we're leaving. And that that sense of urgency that they can emotionally put out there through mind speak, the Sasquatch should be able to feel that and increase their activity with us, increase the lessons that they're bringing upon us, because our time is limited. So we'll see how that particularly brings out any new results or not. So stay tuned, much more to come. So I'm sitting here with this little V, I'm going to call it. It's not an X. And my final deductions on it are what's significant that I can see here is, so look, so this is freshly broken. And this end is not freshly broken. Like, that's probably years old. So what's happened with this, so this particular branch was laying somewhere, or it was somewhere busted, dying, and something brought this over. And while it was bringing it over, made several breaks. Look, those are all fresh. Made several fresh breaks, and then placed this here. And if you want to just have a look around, there's nothing. I'll do like a little 360. There's no trees or any place for that to have come from. And I'm seeing some of the same on this. I'm seeing ends that were, well, the pieces are kind of here for this one, but there's more ends broken than I can find for debris. So same thing as some of these were recently broken off. So what does that mean? It means definitively, without a doubt, these branches were somewhere else. Something recently picked them up and moved them here. So now the last conclusions are, like Richard just said to me, well, either a man did this or a Sasquatch did it. And them having been out here and knowing that there's no people around here, and I mean there's no people around here. We actually did have hunters drive by here yesterday. This was here 2 days ago. And then we had some hunters drive up close to us and then turn around and go back. That's all the activity. So it's and that's high activity. Normally I get about 3 people that drive down this old deserted road a year that are not wildlife officers or forestry officers. So it's kind of a busy time, I guess, because it is hunting season, and there are animals out here that can be hunted. I think the hunters that were out here yesterday, or 2 days ago, yeah, yesterday, we heard some gunshots, so I'm assuming they were shooting pine grouse off the road, which is actually illegal. But anyways, it is what it is. This is the activity we're seeing out here. And with apples getting taken, profound rock knocks that are unexplainable, and this little structure system set up here, we've had a pretty successful expedition to date. So we'll see what's going to happen. We actually noticed too, as I was doing this video, you might have noticed I went, oh, huh, a little gray jay flew by. Well, that little bugger went and started pecking one of the apples. So we had initially 10 apples out there, and we removed 2 that had been pecked, unfortunately. And I'm assuming those little gray jays are going to go back there and peck the heck out of a couple more apples. There's really nothing you can do about that. So, you know, there's wildlife out here, and animals want to survive, and that's just the way it is. So hopefully the Sasquatch get to it. They can fill up on a couple apples maybe and get nice full bellies and then leave, hopefully, where the Sasquatch can get the rest of them. So, because that's what happened when we actually put out 7 apples. So 4 were taken by Sasquatch, 2 were chewed on by squirrels, and 1 was left. And you got to understand the significance of that. That's so important. That's why I heavily believe that Sasquatch did take them, because it rules out a bear. This is the lowest apple on the tree was left. So a bear would never leave that. He wouldn't take an apple above and miss the apple below. The apples that were chewed on by squirrels were within his reach as well. Even rules out a deer or an elk, because again, the lowest apple wasn't taken, and a deer, elk, or a bear, they can eat a lot. And trust me, a few apples is not going to fill their bellies, and they'll pound that really, really hard. So the fact that 1 apple was left was significant to illustrate that bears and elk and deer, or even bighorn sheep, or whatever you want to call it else, didn't take them. Obviously mountain lions won't do that. So pretty significant evidence going on out here. We're really happy with the way things are going, and we're taking it step by step. There'll be more to come. Stay tuned. So here I'm at the particular area. So I'm gonna go through just a couple things real quick. So on the last expedition, I'll show you. This was an X made by a Sasquatch. It's all busted up now because it's been used over, but it's possible that this X was an indication to come over here to see this very significant thing right here. So that's the head of my little statue that I was making, inspired by a Sasquatch, was put here. Both Ashley and I were totally blown away by that, because the mind speak that Ashley got was it was by a hole. Look, there's a hole right there, and it was up on a mound, and it is up on a mound. So very interesting. I was getting mind speak to go look for it, to go find that headpiece. So that was just absolutely mind-blowing, because this is 150 yards away from the gifting area where I left it. So pretty impressive stuff. So that little X over here led us potentially that. So now what I'm looking for is, so I'm 100% certain that these two sticks were not here when I first came out, 100%. So there's no way that was put there by an animal. I haven't seen a person down this trail in 15 years. We're trying to figure out maybe which direction it's pointing at, or because the last X-like structure was approximately 10 or 15 yards away from what we were supposed to find. So now I'd like to peruse this area, see if I can see anything significant. Be smart enough to figure out. So what I do know is, on the Australia, USA, Canada expedition last year, that is an area that they came through, and that tree that's broken down, I'll show you, that tree right there is broken down. A Sasquatch did that. The same Sasquatch that came through and made multiple breaks, including this one right here. So that's a tree break, and then one of my expeditioners put a pretty feather in it. As you can see, there's a feather right back there, just as gratitude for that tree break. So, and there's also, as you can see here, old tree breaks in the area. So I'm going to spend a few minutes just scouring the area, see what I can find. My expeditioners are out here looking as well, so we'll see what happens. But really profound stuff. What I can confidently tell you, that these two sticks, I'm going to actually remove them and put them someplace, because Sasquatch laid hands on that. There's absolutely no other explanation for it. So I'm hoping to be able to deduce the reason for them having put this out here. There's also a possibility too, this could have been a proper act and it got bumped by a person by accident. So, because again, I was on this expedition for the first time ever. I was laid out, unable to participate for hours at a time, where the expeditioners were kind of around and about without me. I was actually even taking day naps. I was so ill. You can kind of hear it in my voice. I had a really bad cough, and I was weak, but we've drudged through it. We've made it. Everybody's happy, and we're trying to just figure out these last little bits of evidence, put them together in some cohesive manner that we can understand, and bring that information back to you and share it. So we'll see what happens.